Well, hello, everybody. I am so proud once again to bring to you our series. We have had the great fortune to have a bunch of community leaders come on and talk to us about the challenges that they're having and the exciting things that they're looking forward to. And today we have someone who, if you've been around Lake County, she does not need an introduction because what she has done with the Education Foundation is beyond imagining, frankly. So I want to welcome Carman with us today. So Carman, tell us just briefly what it is you do and what the Education Foundation does here in Lake County. And thanks, by the way, welcome.
Oh, well, thank you, Meredith. It's really exciting when I got your offer. The Education Foundation is the direct support organization for the Lake County Public Schools, and we have served in that capacity for over 30 years. And the most exciting thing we do is make a difference in teacher and student lives. Last year, through our efforts, we were able to bring $985,000 unrestricted dollars into our schools, and we were able to serve over 20,000 students and 1,200 teachers through our programmatic efforts.
So most people don't know about the foundation and what the foundation does. So you've just given us some really big numbers. Briefly, how do you get that money, and then what do you do with it?
Well, Meredith, we are regulated by state statutes, and we have a board of community leaders comprised of 33 people in the community, and we raise money mainly through events, but also through grants and legislative dollars and our license flag, and then individual donors who follow our mission and see the difference that we're making. And so they're willing to share their treasures and their time with us.
Right. So what the dollars that you talked about, and those are some really big, exciting numbers. What are those dollars used for to support the classroom experience?
The foundation has three primary focuses. One would be career and technical education. The second would be scholarships. And the third focus that's really near to our heart is increasing high school graduation rates.
Okay. And so how do you help make that happen? Do you provide supplies, training? What is what those dollars are used for?
Every programmatic focus has its own set of needs. With our high school seniors, every year Lake County has between 400 and 500 seniors that hasn't passed the FSA requirements, and they could have a 4.0, but since they haven't passed that 10th grade reading assessment, they cannot graduate. And so we train those kids to score high enough on the ACT test. And once that concordance score is high enough, they graduate. And we've got over an 80% success rate over 8 years running with that particular program.
All right, so you've got these programs that support the students directly, like what you've just described, and then I know you have drives that you gather supplies and that teachers can come and get so they don't have to spend their own dollars. Awesome organization. So, of course, we want to know how has COVID impacted, the ability of the organization to raise money, and kind of what are you planning the rest of the year, and how can we support you?
Well, on March the 23rd, our wheels came to a stop. As I mentioned, we were very heavy in events, and so far we have had to cancel 3 major events. One of them being our Stepping Out for Education, which is where our local celebrities dance. We've had to cancel a golf tournament, actually 2 golf tournaments. And so we have been coming up with creative virtual ways, not only to raise money, but to recognize our staff and our students. Typically in the spring, we have 6 different recognition events, and we were able to creatively take each one of those events and make our employees and our students feel as special as they truly are. And we've been able to come up with 2 virtual fundraisers so far that have been successful. One, we partnered with a catering service and did deliveries
Mhm.
And the other one, we partnered with the Orange Blossom Opry and had a live night of entertainers for education. And we're embarking on our third right now, which is our Red for Ed school supply drive.
Okay,
Uh,
so we're a Red for Ed center here in our office. So tell us a little bit more about the Red for Ed, because that seems to me like a way that people can just very easily plug in and support the foundation. So tell us about that.
Yes. As you can see behind me, I am sitting in one of our three Apple Mart stores. They are strategically located around the county for easy accessibility to our teachers, and they are stocked full of supplies.
Mhm.
And the teachers can come into these stores on Wednesday and shop for free.
Is a place where you can drop these supplies off. So tell us what particularly do you need right now, and what is the Red for Ed drive about?
Red for Ed is collecting supplies that are truly needed in our schools for our underprivileged students as well as teachers.
Mhm.
This year, there's been speculation that things might be changing in the fall and the need won't be there. But we saw from the spring when our schools shut down that there was a greater need than ever for the supplies that are stocked in these stores.
Okay, so that's important because I think a lot of people would assume, well, the teachers don't need support because they're not going to be in the classroom. So what specifically can people give that could be supportive this fall as they're heading into to school again?
We're anticipating, there was an 8-hour school board meeting yesterday, and parents will have four options on the table at this point. And one of those options is the traditional schools. And right now, out of the parent intent forms that have come back in, 50% of those parents intend to send their children back to a brick and mortar school.
Mhm.
CDC guidelines will no longer allow sharing of supplies. So, where you might have had 10 packs of crayons in a classroom, now you have to have 22 or however many students are in there because there is no longer sharing. Every child will have to have this complete set of supplies.
So this is huge. This tells me, even though our classroom size might be reduced, that the need for these extra supplies are going to be even greater.
Even greater.
Okay.
And that doesn't diminish the fact that even if the parent elects to put their child in a virtual school setting, those supplies are still going to be needed. And we, in the fall or in the spring, came up with a distribution plan for those parents with the virtual learning and the distance learning so that they could pick up the supplies at the school and have them readily available.
Okay.
And then we have teachers. And teachers are no longer in their classrooms. They have to set up home offices.
Mhm.
And so there's no sharing of supplies in those home offices or resources. So
Okay,
the
so this is big. And I think that this is
huge.
not on top. I'm so glad you were able to share this today because I think that most people would think, oh, there's no big need for school supplies if half the people are going to be home. But I'm hearing it's maybe even greater. So is there something specific that you need that you find that or give us an idea of what would be the most appreciated that people could donate?
Your basic school supplies are always in demand. We find a high demand for copy paper.
Mm,
That is absolute gold to the teachers.
mhm.
In addition to that, the graph paper, the construction paper, as I've mentioned, art supplies are going to be bigger than ever because you can't share them.
Right.
Each child will have to have his own art set.
Okay.
So art supplies are going to be in big need. And then we're talking about the physical supplies, but in the spring we found that we had 2,384 students that didn't have internet access. The foundation was able to secure donations to purchase hotspots and put those in the homes. And we were able to pay for a 4-month usage subscription. That runs out in September.
So
So
you
the
need
parents that are electing not to send their children back to school and don't have internet access are going to need us to continue that monthly payment so that their child can access virtual learning.
So if someone wants to pay, just write a check.
Mhm.
How can they do that? They go to your site. What's the best way to put money in in the hands of the foundation?
Yes, on our site, which is www.untitled edfoundationlake.com. There is a donate button up at the top, and there's a place that the donor can designate where they would like to see their donations go. And then as Red for Ed supplies, there's an e-commerce page so that the donor can actually go into that section and buy 12 pencils and 13 packs of crayons and 6 things of copy paper and save themselves a trip to the store.
Okay, and those, if they do that, how do we know that those resources are going to go for the Lake County schools? Is that only for Lake County, this Red for Ed site that you're talking about, or do we have to choose where to go?
No, we are regulated by state statutes and survive only to serve Lake County public schools, which does include our conversion and charter schools. It does not serve private schools.
Okay, excellent. So we can know that every dollar that we spend on that site is going to go directly to our Lake County classrooms.
Yes.
Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I am not surprised that you guys are pivoting as well as you're doing and adapting to this changing circumstance. I have to tell you, Ms. Carman, from you, I would not expect anything but that. But I think this is important news that you shared about the need going forward. Because I think, wrongly, a lot of people are assuming, well, how much support could the school be really needing right now if people aren't going to be in the classroom? But I think you've really highlighted that need is still there and maybe even greater. So
Meredith, I've been in this position for 16 years, and I have never seen the desperation and the need that I'm seeing this year. And the fear.
And at a time when we don't have our usual ability to raise the funds in the traditional way we've done. So it makes that donor contribution on the website that much more important.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be spreading the word to everybody that I know. And I hope that anybody watching this right now, please share it on Facebook and make a comment to watch below about how we can support our schools going into this unprecedented school year, unprecedented for everybody. So if you're watching this, please take the moment now and hit that share button, let everybody that you know. So tell us again, Carman, the websites that people can go to. Say it one more time.
www.edfoundationlake.com.
Okay, and that's the same for the Red for Ed site?
Yes, the Red for Ed is directly at the top of our page.
Okay, wonderful. And if people have any questions and they want to get in touch with you, is there a way to do that, Carman?
Yes, if my email address and telephone number are on the site.
Okay, great. So I know that you'd be happy to field any questions or any ideas somebody might have about how to raise some more money.
Oh, yes.
Well, maybe next year we'll be dancing again, and I could dance this time. I danced at the New Beginnings one in the fall, made a complete and total fool of myself, but had a good time. So I'm hoping, I know all of us are hoping that we can get back to normal. But until then, guys, it's never been so important that we all pull together. And this is an important way that you can support our kids going into what's for them going to be. We tend to focus on the disruption in our own lives as parents. And I think we lose sight of the disruption emotionally that these kids are going to have. And that's what I know our teachers are going to be worried about. So anything we can do to support our teachers, it's just, like you said, it's never been more important. And it breaks my heart to hear you say you've never seen such need, but I'm not surprised. So thank you for all that you do. And to everyone who's currently on the board, I've had the privilege of serving that organization, and it is the top notch. Every dollar that you spend, you can have confidence that it's going to go exactly where it needs to go. This is an organization you can support, not have to worry about crazy overhead expenses and all of that. This is legit, and they need help. So if you can't go buy the supplies and drop them off at a location like my office, she's just told you how exactly you can just click a button and make a donation. Every dollar counts. So please share this. And Carman, thank you.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, we'll probably be checking in with you later in the fall to see how things are going.
That'd be wonderful.
And see what else we can do to help you. So thank you for all you do. Thank you for spending your life just trying to help others. We're very blessed to have you, and it's a privilege for me to call you my friend.
Thank you, Meredith.
All right, we'll see you soon. Again, don't forget to hit the share button and let everybody that you know, if you're watching this, take a moment, share it, let everybody you know how much support the foundation needs to support our educators and our students. So thanks again, and we'll see, Carmen, we'll see you again in the fall.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.